Welcome back. From learning about education now, we learn more about giving back to society and empowering society in terms of information and access to opportunities to grow. A company that you'll be surprised actually started. This endeavor is being represented by our guest this morning, the PR and marketing manager for Athi River Mining, Mr. Julius Nabicha. Guys should be loud. Mountain. So we are the ones who do this. Amazing. The Rhino Cement Foundation. Why?
The Rhino Cement Foundation is an initiative of Athi River Mining. Athi River Mining as a company has been in existence since 1974. And Athi River Mining is a company that is having many divisions, many products running under it.
That's true.
But initially, from 1974, the 1970s, this is a company that was doing agricultural lime. This is basically an agricultural product.
Right.
But over the years, we have discovered that farmers in Kenya need much more than one product. The Kenyan population need much more than one product.
That's true.
And that's how this company has come to own a number of divisions. The Mavuno Fertilizer Division, which is very important in the country. Of course, you all understand the fertilizer situation in the country.
Yes.
This is a company that is owning the Rhino Cement brand. We all understand the rate at which our country is developing.
Growing in terms of
the
infrastructure.
Construction rate,
Yes.
the infrastructure.
Yes.
This is a company that is also owning a number of minerals in the country that are used for the manufacturing process. Now, we also have another division that we call the Rhino Special Products. These are the finishes in our houses, the wall masters, the ceilings, the floor tiles. Now, you understand from the word go that Athi River Mining, this is a company that does bit of extraction from the environment.
That's right.
This is a company that is growing in Kenya.
That's right.
This is a company that is having its business in Kenya. And by the way, Athi River Mining has business both in Kenya. We also have businesses in Tanzania, in Tanga, and also in Dar es Salaam. We also have businesses in South Africa and also businesses in Zambia.
Wow.
So this is an international company. But
Homegrown from here.
Homegrown from here. Started from Kenya, but now expanding all over Africa, and we are making our presence be felt all over Africa. But the in thing now is the question that you ask, why Rhino Cement Foundation?
Yes.
Now, Rhino Cement is the biggest division of Athi River Mining. And as part of our corporate social responsibility, or we could call it corporate social investment, Athi River Mining has been doing a lot over the years. Well, as you correctly put it, we have not been talking about it.
Yes, exactly.
At the end of the day, it is what you give to society that matters in terms of what you do, not so much on what you say, not so much on how you drum about it.
You just do it because that's who you
are.
Are there pillars that determine the Rhino Cement Foundation, and what are they? Because in your introduction you mentioned the areas that you affect, environment, in terms of what you do as a business. You are growing, which I'm suspecting you're talking about then investing in the future in terms of human resource. So are there pillars that determine it? Or?
Yeah, and to put in perspective probably is that Athi River Mining is a company that is growing very fast. During the IPO in 1996, 1997, the company was worth about 800 million. Wow. Today, as we speak, the market capitalization is about 20 billion.
20 billion.
Yes, so this is a company that is growing very fast. But what makes a company grow? A company grows because of an enabling environment.
True.
We are talking about our people. So we have to invest in our people. And we are going to invest in our people through the Rhino Cement Foundation using 3 pillars. The first pillar is the education pillar.
Education. Key.
Which is very important.
Key.
Very key, everybody understands that.
Yes.
The second pillar is the health pillar.
Key.
We all understand very key because our workforce has to be health for us to get the results that we aim to get. The third pillar is very crucial, the environmental pillar. Because this is a company that engages more often with the environment, we must take care of the environment. So the environmental pillar in our Rhino Cement Foundation is also very key. We must make sure that we conserve our environment, we exploit the environment sustainably for generations to come as well. So that's what we have decided to do. The company right now employs about 1,800 people in Kenya and 400 people outside the country. So we also have a very fast growing workforce. And that's how now we want to invest in the education pillar.
So this year, or you have invested in all those pillars, but this year focusing a lot more on education. Is that it, or?
The Rhino Cement Foundation, probably to give you a bit of a background, is that this is a foundation that is going to be funded 100% by the Rhino Cement division.
Right, right.
So we are not, contrary to other foundations, we are not going to seek for donations from elsewhere. We are plowing back part of the profits of the company
into the
to fund this.
Oh, brilliant.
To attune, like this year, we have set aside about 30 million that we're putting into this foundation. And we want to make sure that part of this money goes to education, part of this money goes to environment, and part of this money goes to the health of our people.
I see what you mean.
But how do we invest in that? For instance, the beginning of this year, and probably even before I come to the beginning of this year, I should remind you that Earth River Mining, this Rhino Cement Foundation was launched towards the end of last year.
Yes.
But Earth River Mining has been doing the corporate social activities over the years. But there was a felt need that this time we need a more targeted, a more measurable approach, a more organized and structured approach, so that we can be able to know if we have carried out this activity this year, what do we need to carry out the next year, and what was targeted for this year but was not achieved? What were the reasons?
I see.
So that we sit down and say, yes, we have done this much, but we can do better. Now, the Rhino Cement Foundation, for instance, in the educational pillar this year, we have undertaken to pay school fees for more than 10 girls from Form 1 to Form 4. And now questions come. Why girls? Why not boys? We have decided to start, especially in high school, the transition of boys from primary to secondary school is more than the transition of girls from primary to secondary school. So we have decided to bridge this gap. Many times people talk about the government can do it, cannot do everything for us. We as the private sector have got to come in so that we intervene. We see that some of these imbalances in society.
You can correct that.
We can correct that.
Absolutely.
So we have sponsored these girls.
10.
From Form 1 to Form 4, full fees paid for, pocket money, shopping, everything. Because most of these girls that we picked are from very poor backgrounds.
True.
Most of them are orphans. So we don't expect to pay school fees,
and then let them sort themselves out.
Does not have the basics in school to learn. So that's what we have decided to do.
So full sponsorship.
Full sponsorship. And Jimmy, I would want to tell you that sometimes we leave corporate or what we could call the social responsibilities to companies and NGOs. No, even you as an individual, you can be able to sponsor
That's
that.
true.
Because I remember early this year when we were going through the forms for these girls, some cases were so touching. Members of staff of Earth River Mining decided that no, even if the Rhino Cement Foundation is going to do this, I'm also going to sponsor a girl.
Wow.
The school fees for this girl is only 20,000 a year. I can afford that. That translates to about it's less than 2,000 shillings a month.
That's true. That's
so
true.
Many members of staff of Earth River Mining, and I thank them for that, have decided to sponsor a number of girls and boys on their own. So that's what we are preaching to Kenyans.
Well done.
That let us not wait for the companies, let us not wait for the international NGOs
to come here and
to come and start sponsoring. You too can sponsor.
That's true.
Another thing that we have now decided to do is that we are expanding this scholarship to university. Right now, we are in the process of recruiting the students who are joining university this year, who probably sat for their KCSE examination in 2009, and therefore they're joining this year. We are in the process of recruiting them for scholarships in specific disciplines. The disciplines of medicine, we have mechanical engineering, we have architecture, we also have civil engineering and chemical engineering. And the question is, why these courses?
Why?
The reason is...
I see chemical, because that's more your...
Yes, at River Mining,
yes.
we employ a lot of engineers.
Right.
And many times you see companies advertising on paper, we need an engineer with this number of
years of experience.
Years of experience. But how much has that company invested in the education of this particular individual?
That's true.
So let us pay for their school fees, like what we're doing to the girls from Form 1 to Form 4. When they get to Form 4, we continue that scholarship. when they get to university and they're done with the education, they can choose to come and work for us or work for somebody else. But our aim is not to train people. Our main aim is not to train people who are going to work for us. Our aim is to train people who are going to change society.
Well done.
If you get our scholarship, after your studies, you also, depending on your level of income, you also pick one girl, one boy, and you sponsor.
Component that monitors and makes sure that they, that they achieve certain grades, or they achieve the highest grade that is possible. And if not, if they, falter on the wayside, how then do you reevaluate your scholarship in terms of how the performance will be?
What we have decided to do, we are not simply paying school fees and paying
and
for the finances
good.
for these girls, for these boys.
Right.
What we have decided to do is to allocate them mentors from Athi River Mining. If you are having a scholarship through the Rhino Cement Foundation, you have a mentor or you have a couple of mentors. These are the employees from Athi River Mining and the directors also from Athi River Mining who will make a follow-up, who will make sure that you're doing well in school, whatever that is bothering you, that's going to make you not to achieve is dealt with immediately.
I see.
So that at the end of the day, what we want to change is the mentality, to make sure that these children have a feeling that they're being cared for, they're being taken care of, so that once they also get to that category of earning and working, they can also start doing the same, so that we change the attitude in society. There is nothing you can do unless you've changed the attitude. So that attitude has to be changed.
I see.
And that's what we are doing as a company, so that we take them through that process. This is not an event. It has got to be a process.
Of course.
A full process.
Of course, yes.
Identifying, recruiting them. After we have done that, we take through them. We take them through their studies, mentoring them, giving them encouragement, and then after that, they make a decision. Where do you want to work? You want to work for Athi River Mining? Yes, well, come on board. You want to work for another company? Yes, you can. But will you please make sure that you sponsor somebody?
Oh, wow.
If you don't sponsor somebody, will you please make sure that you influence your company to do that? If your company does not have a foundation or a scheme like that,